What's up guys, Shadi11 here. I got my bike in front of me again. I'm going to show you another how-to, and it's going to be how to clean and grease your rear shock linkage. It's a pretty simple thing to do. It takes probably 5 minutes, but with me talking it might take a little bit longer. But it's very simple, and I think people overlook it just because, you know, it's not out in the open. It's not something people talk about when they go to track or this and that. But a lot of dirt and dust and other debris can get in there, and also your bearings can wear out in there. There's some floating bearings that come apart very easily, and if those go bad, your bike's not going to ride as good. The linkage isn't going to work as well. So it's a very simple process that you can do, you know, every time you ride your bike, or if you ride a lot, you know, once a week or once a month, or however you want to do it. But it's very simple. I'm going to show you how to do that, tools, stuff like that. But I just want to say I've been really busy with work and stuff like that in school, so I haven't had a lot of time to make some videos, but hopefully during the winter I can make some videos, definitely while I'm not out riding and stuff like that. So we're going to jump into it. Stay tuned. Alright guys, here we are down at the bottom of the linkage. This is the linkage, I'm sorry. Got the rocker here, got the arm, and then we got the rear shock coming down. First off, you're going to need, on my model, 2015, I wish I had 2015. 2007 KX250F, all the bolts are 17 mils. So you could either use a socket or an opening wrench or a closed wrench with like a gear thing or whatever. First off, I'm gonna start taking this bottom bolt out. Once you have that unscrewed, leave that bolt there. And then since we're gonna take off the rocker and the whole arm, I wanna leave this in there. At least that's how I do it. I'll leave this bolt in there because it's easier, because once you take all this out and you try to take this bolt off, the whole bike will squat down because there's no support to it. So I like to take my wrench while I have the bike already. You know, and it's not going anywhere. Undo this one too. Unscrew this guy. I'm gonna set that bolt aside, this bolt aside as well. And to get this bolt out, if you push on it, it's not gonna go anywhere. So don't bang on it or try anything like that. All you're gonna do is put your hand up on the seat and you're gonna squat the bike down. See how this linkage moves? I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear the grease and stuff moving around in there. All you do is squat the bike down so far, and you'll just feel it, and it'll push out, like so. What I like to do is take your bolt that the nut came with, put it on there. And remember where this came from. Long one goes down here. I want to set this aside. That's a nice little, you know, not rookie, but if you're not used to taking your bike apart and stuff like that, it's a nice little thing to do. So you don't mix up your parts. Now, once we're done with that, we're just gonna slide that guy away. Now it's time to take the rear shock off, rear bolt off. So take our 17 mil, unscrew this guy. Nope, not yet. Do that till you unscrew it. Put your bolt in a safe place. Same thing. If you push on it, it's not gonna go anywhere. You gotta squat, push down in their seat. See, same thing, it'll move. Push down, slide out. Bolt slide right out. Now you see your rocker's loose. Same things we did previously. Take your bolt, nut on there, you're not gonna lose anything. Now, I'm gonna take the rocker apart, and that's this bolt here. Unscrew it. Your bolt's gonna turn on the other side, possibly. Unscrew that guy. So, nut down there, and then push. This one's easy, you should just slide out. And the only thing is your chain's gonna get in the way. So you do the same thing, squat it down. It'll give your chain some tension. Pull it out. Your might get caught on your chain slider underneath your swing arm. Boom. There's your rocker and your bolt. Now before we do anything, we're gonna put our bolt back on. Or not back on our bolt, sorry. Put a rocker side. Now we're gonna take apart, we already have the bullet off that guy. So now we're gonna push that out. Watch, it's on the other end of this guy is on a chain. So you're gonna have to wiggle it, play with it a little bit, and it'll pop right out. Sometimes your chain will get caught on this lip from the nut. But now we got our arm, bolts, everything. Now we move to the table and we're gonna start working on greasing it. Alright guys, here we are. I got all the parts laid out here, and I'm gonna show you how to clean the linkage. First, I'm gonna set these bolts aside. We're gonna get the rocker here. Just take a little screwdriver, flathead, and these little covers pop out like so, like that. You want to be careful not to rip out this. There's a rubber little gasket here. You want to be careful not to rip that out. And then we'll go on the other side. Same thing. Lift this guy up, and then inside is the bearing, kind of. Just gonna pull that out. See how dirty and all the debris and stuff on that. But I can't see too well. But there's a good bit of crap on there, and you want to make sure you have some gloves on because this could get some pretty nasty. But inside here, you want to be careful because there's some floating bearings in there. So you want to be careful because these can come out pretty easily. Basically, we're going to do the same thing, take all these apart, and you can just push the bearing out, the whole thing will come out. Same thing with up here, this guy, and you want to keep it all together so all the parts go back on the same part. And this one's a little different. This doesn't have a bearing because it has the collar, and they're like that on the top one. Same thing, these all have those floating bearings in there, so you want to be careful not to damage those or anything like that, or else you're going to have to replace them. And if they're still decent, then you really don't want to have to replace them if they're still in working condition, stuff like that. But what you're going to do is just pretty much clean it up a bit. Take a paper towel, go in there, get in the rubber gasket here like so. Just kind of put your finger on it, get all the crap out. Same thing on this one. Around, get all the junk out. Like this. Clean it up. Then you can even take your screwdriver, your flathead, and inside the rubber seal, just kind of go around like this. Get all the extra garbage out. You don't want to push too hard because you might mess up the rubber gasket going on there. But basically just go around in a circle. Get as much gunk as you can out. And I did look, Kawasaki recommends you inspect these every 3 races, or I believe 6 hours. But so basically every 3 times you ride your bike, you should inspect this, because these bearings can make a huge difference on how your shock and how your bike reacts to certain things. It is kind of a tedious process, but in the long run it'll pay off and make your bearings last longer. And you kind of see my I can see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but you can kind of see my needle bearings up top are kind of getting worn down, and that's just because this collar doesn't, I think it's a bad design, it doesn't really seal it too well, so a lot more gunk and debris and crap gets inside of that one than in the other one. But I'm going to switch to the other side here. I'm doing the same thing, clean all around, get all that crap out, just like dirt, mud, old grease. this stuff you don't want getting into your linkage and the bearings, because that'll definitely make it wear down a lot faster. And now, the same things you do on the other side. Get your paper towel or whatever you want to use, and just put it on the inside of that lip here, right in here, and kind of get all the crap out. You know, it's not going to be perfect. The only really way is to get these perfect is, of course, to change the bearings, press them out, which is pretty simple. All you need is a vise. All you do is get a socket, and put a bigger socket on the other side that goes around here, and crank it down if you have a big enough vise. If not, you can always press it out if you have a press, but not everybody has a press. I know I have a video in my how-to playlist of how to change the bearing, and I believe it's on this, or how to put a bearing in. I was kind of maybe last year or something like that, so I can always update it if need be. But yeah, she looks pretty good now. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna get a new paper towel. We're gonna wipe all the grease off of this, because this is all dirty and nasty. Set that aside. Same with these little covers. And then you're just going to want to repeat this same step for all of them. You can take a little bit of contact cleaner too if you like. Some Linkage oil contact cleaner. Spray a little bit on a towel. You don't need a whole lot. Just go over the bearing lightly, just to get any extra dirt and debris off. Same with the covers. Just go around. Then do the same process for this bearing and this collar. You only wipe down maybe just some contact cleaner on it. And then we're going to show you the next step. Alright, so next up on the rocker is, once you have it all clean as you can, all we're going to do is we're going to pack it with grease now. You're going to take your red and tacky or whatever kind of grease you have. Linkage oil sells these in tubs. I wasn't aware, so I kind of got this long tube. Basically, you can take a nice handful or a nice little finger. We'll kind of rub it in there, rub it all around the bearings. You can see how disgusting and yuck that is. Now we're gonna flip. We're gonna go back in, get some more grease, do the other one now, rub it around. like so. I'm going to do the top one. Top one doesn't need quite as much, so we're going to put some back. Just do a little bit. If you put too much grease, I mean, some people say there's never too much grease, but a lot of times if you put too much grease, all it's going to do is attract more dirt, and it's going to get gunked up faster. So I mean, all you want is a nice layer of grease. A nice thin layer that'll last a good bit, like that. And then we're going to reassemble it, and that's basically probably very easy. We're going to take this collar, that guy goes up top like that. Now you can put some extra grease on these, which I like to do, just a very thin layer, because sometimes when you push these bearings in, it actually pushes the grease out, but it's good to just get grease in there. So the collar goes in like that, and then this cover just slides on over it like that, and it'll compress once you put the bolts on. Now take some more grease, just a very thin layer of grease on this, all around. Rub it in so you can barely see it, but it's on there. And then you're going to slide this in like so. Take your covers, push that one in, and then have your finger on the other side and press that one in. Another little layer of thin grease on this one. Slide that one in. Wipe yourself off. Get any excess grease that's on the sides of this, just to keep it clean. Keep any extra dirt and debris from building up. Now we're done with the rocker. Same thing with this guy. We're gonna move on the arm. I'm gonna go around on the edges here, clean all that out, clean all this out, take my towel, clean that, go around the same process as the other one, pack grease in there, inside here on the needle bearings. Be careful, it might come out. And now we're gonna take our towel with contact cleaner on there, wipe the old grease off of the bearing. I wouldn't use water or anything like that, just because water, it might not dry the whole way, and then it's just gonna, it's gonna basically mess up your whole cleaning process. So if you have contact cleaner or something like that, if not, just wipe it off, get as much grease, old grease as you can off. But definitely don't use water. These look pretty good. We're just gonna give it a nice little wipe on the inside. Same deal. Take a nice thin layer of grease all the way around. Not too much. And we're going to slide this guy in, like so, put our cover on, do the other cover, and then now I like to just go over my bolts that side. I like to get some contact cleaner, spray these, clean up my bolts. That. See the dirt that came off of that. Now we'll move back to the bike, and we're gonna install the reinstall the rocker in the arm, and she'll be ready to ride. All right, so here we are down ready to install our rocker. And I'm putting alright, here we are down at the bottom of the bike here, ready to install our rocker and arm. Got all of our parts, got the rocker. We're gonna install that first. And I like to install a little bit of white lithium grease to my bolts. Now, some of you are gonna comment on my video and say this is bad, this is not good, blah blah blah, etc, etc. But it is just another one of those things. You don't have to do it, you can do it. It might be bad for it, it might be this, blah blah blah. It's definitely more of a priority thing than anything. It's just kind of how you feel. If you want to do it, you can. If not, don't do it. That's basically what it is. Some people say it attracts more grease, but it does if you don't maintain it regularly. If you don't maintain it at all, sure, it's going to attract more grease because it's just sitting in there and building up and building up and building up. But if you maintain it properly, you won't have that problem. But now I installed the bolt on the other side, and you have to wiggle this rocker in there like that. Get the bolt through like that, and you gotta go on the other side because this chain catches on the chain guard catches on the bolt. Lift your swing arm up like so. Gonna install our bolt. And we'll tighten that later down to torque. Right now, hand tight is perfect. Then we're gonna take our rocker. Same thing. Make sure it's the skinnier side that goes in up there first. So you find that out, you're gonna take your shorter bolt, this guy, and I'm gonna put my white lithium grease on. If you're not putting it on, obviously you're gonna completely ignore this step. Reach around, put your rocker in. You have to move the chain a little bit to get it to fit. She'll slide through like that. I got some grease on that of mine. I'm just gonna wipe that off. Get your bolt. Your nut, I'm sorry. Screw that on, hand tight. And now we're gonna install the shock bolt, because once you install the other side of the rocker, you can't get the to the shock bolt. So come down here, and being that this doesn't have a bolt head on it, you can't grab it with a ratchet. You got to make sure the flat end is sitting on the there's a edge, a square edge on the other side. Now this part gets kind of tricky when you only have one hand, but you have to lift the bike up like so. Pull the rocker up, and push the bolt through, twist it, make sure that that flat part of the bolt's sitting on the other flat part, if this is how your bike is. Now we're gonna put the nut on, and being that we can't tighten this when we have the rocker on, or the arm on, we're gonna go ahead and tighten this down. And for Kawasaki, for the torque on this is 25 foot-pounds. So we're gonna get our torque wrench out, set it to 25, lock it, put it on tighten. We're gonna tighten this to torque. It might be different depending on what bike you have. You can download service manuals online for free, or you can buy them. Just Google whatever your bike is and Google service manual, and one should pop up. And she's torqued. Now we're gonna move on to put the other part of our arm on, and then we gotta tighten everything down, and she's ready to ride. Alright guys, that concludes my video on how to clean and grease your rear shock linkage. Like my video if you liked it, comment on my video, subscribe to me, anything like that. Hopefully I'll have some more videos coming soon. Let me know if you have any suggestions that I can do in the winter, but hopefully I'll have some more videos coming up soon. Thanks guys, see you.